Hong-Sau is a very, very important technique for this. Sometimes we learn a really important technique early on, and then we don't practice it enough or deeply enough. But Hong-Sau is meant specifically for both of these problems, that by concentrating at the point between the eyebrows, the kutastha, and also the repetition, concentrating and watching the breath, and the repetition of the bija mantra, Hong-Sau, helps to bring the energy into the deep spine and bring it to this point. And so in the Hong-Sau technique, as soon as we find our mind wandering, then we bring it back. And that constant refocusing of the energy as soon as it wanders will help us deepen our powers of concentration. As the powers of concentration deepen, and as the consciousness comes more and more into the area in the frontal part of the brain, or the kutastha more importantly, then the restless thoughts begin to subside. And so that, and then I would say one more thing, and then Devi will have some thoughts too, is that if you allow your mind to gain momentum in its wanderings, then it's much harder to bring back. So as soon as you realize that you're not focused, that's the time to bring it back. It's like it's much easier to stop a train while it's just still at the station than allowing that train to get rolling down the tracks, and then it's very hard to stop. So as soon as you catch your mind wandering, that's the time to bring it back. And the use of technique is very helpful at this point. In the listening phase, then if you're listening, it may be that you're listening to Om. Really try to keep your mind on that listening. Or you may be, in a sense, listening, but looking at the light. Really try to keep the mind focused on that. And if it wanders, bring it back.
I'll add a few thoughts, and then maybe we should stop after this. Concentration is really a reflection of energy, and so if you're having trouble with concentrating with meditation, look at how you can heighten your energy. That's why Master gave us the energization exercises. Sometimes I admit with guilt that I don't energize before I meditate. I try to do it afterwards, but sometimes I'm late. And I really see a difference in my ability to concentrate if I haven't done the energization exercises before. They really take 10, 12 minutes. That's not that long. So I think that's a tremendous aid in helping you to meditate and concentrate, is to make sure your energy is strong, whatever you need to do. That energization is a wonderful thing. A few yoga postures also helps awaken subtle energy. As far as the mind wandering, we had a friend, it was actually a group of monks in Ananda village in America, and they were trying to deepen their concentration, so they tried this experiment. They all were together meditating, and they said, let's do the Hong-Sau technique together. But as soon as your mind, and it was maybe, 10, 12 of them, as soon as your mind wanders, out loud chant Om. And so then there was the group of them, and it was Om, Om, Om. And they realized that they actually were doing the Om technique, because but it was so, it made it so dynamic to their awareness how often the mind wanders. And try, another simple technique that Master recommended, Swami taught. Use your finger, if your hands are on your lap in meditation, use the index finger of your right hand. And when you inhale, Hong. When you exhale, move the finger toward the palm or away from the palm. Do you know that technique? Just Okay, when you inhale and repeat Hong, you just move your finger of your
Very slightly.
slightly in. When you exhale and mentally repeat Saw, you move it away. It's just a little memory tool that keeps your mind focused, and that's also very helpful. But as Jyotish said, it's something that you need to train yourself in. And one last thought, and then we'll close.
I'm gonna add one thing.
Okay. Concentration is not only what we do in meditation. I know many of you have demanding jobs that require concentration and focus. When you're in your daily life, again, I have to discipline myself. I'll be trying to write a piece or write something, and then, oh, I forgot I have to do that, and oh, let me get up and make a cup of tea. And I have to say, no, concentrate on what you're doing right now. Don't multitask, texting people and writing and answering the phone. That undermines your ability to concentrate in meditation. So in your daily life, whatever you're doing, finish that task. Do it with all your attention. My impression, and this is, it's just a subjective impression, that the Indian mentality is better able to concentrate than the Western mind. It's just, I can feel that there's more poise in the consciousness in India than in the West. And so you have that, you have that advantage going for you. And just use it in everything you do. If you're cutting vegetables for dinner, just do it with utmost concentration. If, whatever it may be, daily life is a tool to help you deepen your meditation.
I want to reinforce what Devi said about the energization exercises and also Hong-Sau, because both of those help us to direct the prana and bring it under our control. We often approach the question of restless thoughts and lack of concentration from the wrong end. We think that the problem is in the thoughts. It's actually in the energy. To use an example, right now there's a ceiling fan going here. Suppose that I held up a basket with a lot of feathers in it. Now those feathers represent the various thoughts that are possible or going in my mind. And as long as that fan is going, those thoughts are going to get spread around the room. And so I can say bad feathers, and go after each one of those feathers and pick them up, put them back in the basket, and say, oh, you can't go there, I'm going to put you back in the basket. All the time, I haven't done anything about the ceiling fan. Now, wouldn't it make a whole lot more sense to stop the electricity to the ceiling fan? Well, that's the difference between working with prana and working with the thoughts. So let's work with prana through energization, through Hong-Sau technique, through the various practices of our path, and turn off the pranic vibration that's causing the thoughts to be restless. So don't think that you'll quiet your thoughts by quieting the thoughts. You'll quiet your thoughts by quieting the prana, which is disturbing the thoughts. Okay, I think